Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Jack Jewell Live. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It's quite late here, but I thought I'd jump on and talk about a few things to do with Big Brother UK, because although I don't watch reality TV, there have been a few clips being posted to Twitter, which have been, quite frankly, delicious. And I've compiled some of my favorites so that we can watch them together and react. And surprise, surprise, it is a bit of a woke mess. Now, there's some of these that I've not actually seen properly yet, so I'm really looking forward to reacting to them with you, and it should be really, really fun. So please let me know in the comments if you have tuned in and you can hear me and you can see me. And apologies, my lighting is not as good right now because I couldn't find the adapter for my proper light, so I'm improvising. But who cares? It's a live show. And everyone, if you're new to my channel, hope you enjoy. You can subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and like the video. I'd really appreciate that. So let's get into this Big Brother UK reaction. So I'm going to very haphazardly just move. I need to work out a more high-tech way to do this. Okay. Here we go. So these are the contestants, and you can see they're all looking rather lovely. Now, the first thing that strikes me is just, I feel like so many things have this sort of queer aesthetic going on. You can definitely spot out a few of the people here that may have a bit of the queer going on. You know, we see this guy looking fabulous. We see this sequin jacket. But, you know, maybe they'll just be all kind of average, normal people, right? And we're gonna look at a few of the different contestants, what has happened, what have they said, and what the reception has been, right? And you're gonna find that, oh no, you can't see me. You can't see me. Can you see me now? Can people let me know in the comments? You are behind the screen. I mean, for me, I'm not. That's weird. You can see me. Can you see me to the side of the screen? Need to move the screen share over. Okay. Because for me, it's not like that. How about now? No. So weird for me. Oh. Okay. You can see me? Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. I don't have a producer, right? So thank you so much. So first up is this contestant, Emily, looking very lovely. Will Emily be the first to set the Big Brother kitchen on fire? You're going to find out that Emily's time in the house was not very long. I'm gonna play her intro video here and see what Emily had to say.
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm 25 and I'm from Northampton. I work for a political events company in Westminster. I joined the Conservative Party when I was 16. I've been for Christmas drinks at Boris Johnson's house. He's just like a big teddy bear, to be honest. I definitely think people have a perception that Tories don't have hearts, but I'm really hoping that you can see that we can be nice too. I'm very ditzy. I once left the hob on for 5 days. I'm always losing my passport, and I went through 3 sets of keys in the space of 6 months. I'm probably the most single I've ever been. I'm absolutely gagging for a husband. I just want someone that I can go to church with, have some children with. If you say you'd never kiss a Tory, you're missing out.
There she is. Okay, so you may have heard of Emily before because she's actually quite big on Twitter. So she has 168,000 followers. She's done a few podcasts, and I have to be honest, she's a lot more intelligent, I think, than she came across in that video. And when I first saw this, I kind of thought, why would you make your whole VT personality being a Tory, being a conservative, because that's exactly where they'd want you, right? On a very progressive reality TV show like Big Brother on Channel 4. But then I realized, oh, wait, these things are edited. And of course, they're going to want that narrative, right? So that's one point. We'll find out later that that's kind of true. But then it's not a great look, in my opinion, that she says, oh, I'm a conservative, I'm a Tory. But then the rest of the video is just, oh, I'm just this stupid blonde. I'm so ditzy. I left the hob on for 5 days. I'm just gagging for a husband. I mean, it sort of paints the stereotypical, I'm a right-wing girl and I'm just wanting a husband and I want to settle down and that's it. And it's sort of, it confirms people's stereotypes, I think, of what someone like this may be. But she did say a lot of that stuff. And I guess there's a certain charm to coming across ditzy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So just like reading the comments when this show started, people were absolutely disgusted. Get this horrible Tory rat out ASAP. This person said, last time they made a mistake supporting Nathan, and I ended up massively regretting that, and I won't be making that mistake again. Emily, get out, please. So people were naturally, as expected, quite displeased to have a Tory conservative or whatever. So this one said, effing Tory, C word. Meme, you're never innocent if you're a Tory. Get that Tory reform voter witch out, and I might actually watch. The evil Emily, obviously, Emily get effed. So, it is kind of sad, isn't it, that, you could criticize her for coming across a bit ditzy or whatever, but she literally just said, I'm a Tory, and then, the natural response is she's evil. You can disagree with her political opinions, of course, but to resort to evil is a stretch. But this person kind of said something intelligent. I thought the show was meant to be controversial, but you want to take away that different perspective just because you hate her political views. You want a house full of the same boring views. And I do agree with this, but honestly, I don't really watch reality TV, but I used to watch Big Brother when I was a child. And it was controversial, but it wasn't controversial to do with politics. It was controversial to do with relationships, people being bitchy, people lying, all that kind of stuff. Whereas now just the general assumption is we need left-wing people and we need right-wing people, we need woke people, we need anti-woke people. Whereas in the past, people just, there may have been a bit of that, but that just was not the focus. Whereas everything these days is like woke, 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 trans, trans, trans. And trust me, you'll learn about the trans stuff soon. So this is her. She entered the house, and then she met her fate just a few hours later.
You have chosen to send home and explain your reasons why.
It's just, they're both as great as each other, but the reason I picked Emily was because I think she's going to have loads of chances to go to Bora Bora. So your reason for your money was daft.
Sam, please state the name of the housemate you wish to evict.
I changed my mind. The housemate I want to evict is Emily. And it's because I couldn't get past the reasons about your parents and stuff, and I felt really guilty about it. And it's not that I want you to go any more than her, but now I feel really bad towards you as well.
No, so. I understand.
I'm really sorry. Okay.
Someone had to go first, right? It's been real, guys, and we wouldn't be picked for the bottom 3 if we were boring, so we made an impact.
This is true.
She's really got the whole cleavage thing going on too. I mean, if you want to defy stereotypes, I just want to say, but I don't know Emily, but I have seen her on podcasts, and she does actually seem like an intelligent, nice person. But the public voted for her. And we can see why. So she didn't really get a chance to actually, attest to the fact that she probably has a personality. And this was around the same time this Tom Skinner guy got evicted from Strictly Come Dancing, and he was also the first elimination. And he has been controversial because he's talked about the English flag, God forbid, And I think he said that when Trump got elected, who knows, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe we need to change. And that was kind of enough. And if you're familiar with Narinder Kaur, she is so bitter that she was not picked to go on Strictly. She was told she was too controversial. And she's just been hounding this guy. He's tweeted her saying, "I'm so sorry if what I've done to upset you, but I wish you all the best." And yeah, she's just full of hate. But according to Emily, she does believe she was booted off for being a Tory. So she feels her right-wing views caused her to be voted off of the show early. And I suppose there's no way of knowing, but based off all the stuff being said on social media. And now she did say, all the public saw was the pre-recorded interview of me being a Tory. I got all the hate. I got the most hate off all the contestants, which is understandable. And that's a shame. I don't mind being the Tory villain, but then I also got evicted. As soon as you say you're a Tory, you've got a bit of a target on your back. Yeah, I mean, I suppose with her, I mean, she has a huge platform, right? And it's all about her views. So it's probably natural she would make that a part of what she has to offer. And let's face it, Big Brother wouldn't have chosen her if not for that, because they love this controversy. The frustration for Hewitson is that by combining the edit of her interview with the twist of the first night eviction, the show's producers denied audiences the chance to get to know her. So yeah, I mean, I think she probably had a lot more to say, but then they kind of boiled it down into that stuff. And that's what freaks me out about doing reality TV, because they'd obviously make me look terrible, even though I do that all by myself here. What's really strange is my streaming software is obviously effed, because for me, the picture is covering my face, whereas for you guys, it's not. So as long as you can see both. All right, so what would be reality TV in 2025 without trans? I've managed lately to be talking about some other shit, right? Because love talking about this, right? But I have other interests too. And you've probably noticed I've been branching out a bit more. But honestly, every time I try to, it's just, oh, here's another trans story. Here's another trans story. And I'm just a bit like, well, I better cover that too. But I know you guys love it. So let's see what them has to say.
I constantly get compared to a spaniel dog. I'm pretty unbearable if I don't get my 12,000 steps a day. My name's Zila, I'm 25 years old.
A spaniel dog. I hate in these things, like I know that it's all manufactured, but I just hate how people try and make themselves seem so quirky and unconventional. And like, oh, I get compared to a spaniel dog. What are you talking about? That is so, I mean, I feel that is just something you have designated upon yourself. And then you're just telling everyone, oh, people think I'm some sort of a dog. It's like, no, they don't. You're fucking cringe. Zila. Now that, who knows? Maybe her name is Zila. But I feel like when people transition, they always choose these really bizarre names. And it kind of sounds like, Zelda, kind of sounds like a medieval princess name. So let's go.
And I'm a personal trainer from South London. I'm half Indian, half English. So my mum's from Kolkata and my dad was from Cornwall. The kind of people I don't usually get along with are bro-y guys, which I know is ironic to say as I sit here.
Just something really random I noticed is if someone's speaking in an English or an American accent and then they mention a place and they pronounce it properly, like she did with Calcutta or whatever, I always find it so alarming. It's like, whoa, there's a different accent, but yeah.
And a wife pleaser with a mullet.
A wife pleaser.
I think something that people are usually pretty shocked to find out about me is that I lived as a woman for 23 years of my life.
Lived as a woman, right? / you are a woman. I'm sorry. You seem like a nice person, but you are a woman who's taken testosterone, basically. And you're performing stereotypes of a man, which, if that's what you want to do, fine with that. But lived as a woman, the only way you can live as a woman is to actually be female, right?
I think I'm living proof that being transgender is not a choice, because why would I choose to go from the luxury, the sanctuary that is the women's toilets to the horror that is the men's? Now I don't really want to...
I mean, the only reason she said that, I think, is because it's just further pushing this idea that trans women, i.e. men, have to be given access to the women's toilets. And she's saying, oh, why on earth would I have done this if it didn't put me in the men's? Well, first of all, you don't have to use the men's because you're not a man. But I mean, if you had lived in any other time, you would not have chosen this, right? I'm sorry, but it is a choice to take drugs to change and masculinize your body. And to be honest, it's been pretty successful. You know, she's pretty passable, I think. And sometimes, I hate to say it, but because trans men, i.e. women, take exogenous testosterone, they can't make it themselves, it's usually so much easier for them to build muscle. And it annoys the crap out of me because that is hard for my body to do. But anyway, I'll get over my resentment. It's like that thing, oh, women are just jealous of trans women. No, probably not. Okay, so now she's going to talk about her scars, and she's holding a bunny rabbit.
Mention my transition just for the first bit. Like, I mean, naturally that conversation will come up because you asked me about my school experience. I went to an all-girls school. You asked me about if people ask me more about the personal training business that I'm trying to build. It's centered towards trans people and women. Like, it'll naturally come up. But for now, yeah, I'm making...
Trans people and women, centered towards trans people and women. So it's just for all sexes except straight white cis men, I'm guessing.
Conscious decision to just not bring it up for a bit, let people make their first impressions of me outside of my gender identity. Although, like, I am aware that I have quite big scars on my chest and there is a hot tub. I did find myself, probably for the first time ever, feeling a bit self-conscious about my scars because I know that I haven't told anyone and they're very prominent. I did find myself feeling a bit weird in that situation, which is definitely something I've never encountered before because I'm pretty proud of my scars usually, pretty, yeah, chill with showing them.
I wanted to...
Okay, so that was pretty tepid, but I mean, she seems like a nice person. I'm not here to hate on her like I did with Lars on I Kissed a Boy, because for me, that was just so much worse because she was on a gay male dating show. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole again, but in this case, there's nothing, it's not a dating show, right? So it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. And the fact of life right now is that there are some people in society who are doing this, and they are still real people, part of society. So if someone wants to put them on a show, they can, but it is just tokenism, right? It's like every reality show, it needs to have a gay, it needs to have a trans, it needs to have someone without an arm or something. I don't think they got that, but Big Brother, do better. Where is the person without any limbs? I'm not happy about that. Yeah, so I guess my problem is just how it definitely just tries to push this agenda more, you know, with this messaging around, you know, what people may not know about me is I used to live as a girl. No. And it gets worse, I've heard, from some of the videos that are coming up. All right, let's see what she has to say next.
Ask you a question that is so random.
Yeah.
But say whenever you got your top surgery,
Yeah.
how did it feel?
So you feel like you're nude.
Did you lose weight?
Yeah, you're not as much as you think. Like, literally.
But were you big chested before? Because I've got nothing, I have no bra on, I'm nothing, like.
Yeah, so I always, no, I had quite a small chest, to be fair. But funny enough, boobs don't weigh as much as you think they do.
How come the voice changes, man?
The voice.
I'm sorry to
The testosterone.
Oh, okay.
So my voice
I mean, I just paused it at the wrong
doesn't weigh as
time.
much as you think they do.
How come the voice changes, man?
The voice.
I mean, look at that jaw. That's pretty impressive, right? I mean, my jaw is nothing like that. I just wonder if she's also had filler in the jaw. Do you see this, how lots of men are now getting this really gross filler in their jaw and they look ridiculous, like Johnny Bravo? I mean, maybe.
I'm sorry to
The
interrupt.
testosterone.
Oh, okay.
So my voice gets lower over time. So yeah.
Like a manly voice.
I mean, even though she's kind of passable, I can just, it's so lesbian coded, the behavior and the way she speaks. Do you guys agree? I feel like because I've talked about this for what feels like half of my life, trans women, it's very easy to swat them out for many reasons. But I feel like trans men, I've now kind of acquired the skill of being able to spot them, which I don't know if I'm proud of that or if it just feels kind of sad. All right.
This isn't it?
Really? It's so funny to hear you say that.
You sure I said the same thing?
Yeah, my voice is probably my biggest
Insecurity?
insecurity with when I transition, because I still feel now like I still have quite feminine undertones.
No way.
Yeah, sorry.
Have you ever heard the term gender euphoria?
Oh my God. No, she didn't go there. Oh, gender euphoria. I find this such a sinister term. And I feel like it has a sexual nature to it. Well, yeah, of course, because the trans women on Reddit are talking about how they first put on a bra and then got a euphoria boner, right? It all comes from the men. But I just feel like gender euphoria, I just find it a very sinister term in terms of what it sells young people, because they might be really depressed and anxious about various things, including their body, especially young girls. And then some person like this says, have you heard of gender euphoria? I mean, I'd be taking that shit if I was one of those girls. Yeah, it's just a really gross term. I don't like it.
No.
Gender euphoria means when like you have this like positively overwhelming like sense of like belonging with your gender. So it can be little things like when I first got my surgery, having a towel around my waist instead of up here was like really cool. Like walking around the house shirtless, like it was so freeing. Yeah. If I do go tonight, don't.
Fair enough if she feels that way, but there are going to be teenagers watching this, and it's a tricky one, right? I mean, this is probably for over 18s, although it was when I was younger, because it would have lots of sexual themes. So if that is the case, then there you go. I mean, you guys let me know what you think in the comments about, do you feel like reality TV shows should not be letting people like this on? Is it something you'd like them not to do? Or do you acknowledge people who do this themselves exist, and why not? Because for people that argue that it's like a mental health illness, it's kind of like Big Brother saying, oh, well, we need a bipolar person on or something, which they could. I don't know. Jenny apologizes to Zila for outing him. Okay. This sounds good.
Forget about me
We won't.
by week 7, right?
I'll say, where's the transgender? Oh, God. Did she just say that?
I'll see you.
Yes, not everyone knows.
What?
Oh, dear. Yeah, I also want to know what you guys think about, I mean, do you feel like it's deception, her not telling everyone at first that she's trans? I guess it doesn't matter too much, right? Because I think they all sleep in one room. At least that's what it used to be like. So there hasn't really been gendered activity and behavior. And it's not like she kissed anyone, any girl or anything before that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm feeling a lot more kind of moderate today for some reason, guys. Who knows?
Not everyone knows that.
But not everyone knows.
I don't know that.
Oh,
for
God, you just feel so embarrassed for her. Her face going red.
Well, I don't know.
They didn't know.
Well, I don't know.
We'll
Oh,
talk about it
dear.
afterwards.
Oh, she's raging. Poor wee dairy girl.
Cheers. Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. I'm fine. I don't mind at all. I know she didn't mean to.
You know. No, me.
Oh, God. I mean, like I said, I've not watched the actual full-length episodes, but just looking on the X feed, that's where I got all these shorts, and it just seems like the entire narrative of the show is just centered around this trans person. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are just the kind of juicy clips that they're putting out. But I really detest the way it's like, here's this minority, so-called minority person, and let's put them on a pedestal, and then let's make everyone around them walk on eggshells and have to apologize, and then let's feel sorry for her. I don't know. It's just so tiring. I mean, the only reality show I like watching is called The Traitors. I don't know if you guys watch it. There's American versions, there's UK versions. And I'm pretty sure there was a trans man on one of the last seasons. And honestly, it wasn't mentioned. She didn't even say it in her intro video or whatever. And that's what I want to see, really. Go in the closet. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm more interested in everything else than all this identity politics. And Asher can't believe anyone still watches. I know. I mean, how is this shit still going? So let's watch her say sorry.
Really sorry. I did not mean to say that.
Oh no, you're okay.
I thought everyone knew.
I do not think it came from a place about.
No. It really didn't.
I had a feeling you didn't know that people didn't know.
No, I didn't.
And therefore, that's fine.
I'm one of them people. You need to tell me. Oh, no one knows.
No, I get it, because I've been in this situation before where I've said things.
The reason why I'm apologising now is because I didn't want to apologise in front of everybody, make a scene, and make it like, no, because I didn't know if everybody heard me then. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
See, doesn't this just cause so much confusion when someone thinks they're the opposite sex and then takes these drugs, and then it causes these really bizarre scenarios in which it's not the blonde girl's fault. I'm not saying it's the other person's fault, but I mean, when you choose to make these decisions, it inevitably is going to make your life a lot more complicated, and you kind of have to roll with it. But she seems to not be taking it too badly.
You're a bit Jenny.
But I genuinely, I would not do that to anyone. I didn't mean it. Like, it was Caroline was like, Jenny, and I was like,
can't you see her just terrified of people thinking that she's a bigot? Like, she's shaking in her boots about it. This is what I hate, is like putting anyone who does not fit into one of these minority groups on absolute eggshells all the time. I mean, I speak to straight white people sometimes, and then they learn what I actually think, and then they suddenly go, oh my God, thank God you said that. I mean, I just find nowadays if I'm ever around anyone, I'm so terrified to say the wrong thing. And it's a problem. It's a power play. It's a complete power play.
what? I didn't mean it. It was not meant from a bad place at all. No, but I genuinely didn't mean it. I'm really sorry if I offended you in any way. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't. Give me a cuddle.
Such a song and dance. Why didn't you just tell people you're trans? I mean, I feel like for her, obviously she wishes she was a man, and that's sad. It's not possible. But I guess it was exciting for her to have at least a couple of days in the house, or hours, however long it was, where everyone just thought she was a man. You know, I guess that's appealing to her. But again, it's all very self-centered and self-focused. It's like this whole storyline is just, it's just kind of a waste of time. You know?
I'm scared of your makeup. No, to be fair, I'm wearing black actually.
No, well, this is it. But no, I'm glad you're still here.
Okay, I'm bored with this one. Okay, so, so I also saw this guy, Nathan King, who was a contestant last time, apparently. I was not watching this show at all, so I have no idea who was on it, but he apparently said some anti-trans stuff. And when I saw this, I was thinking, oh my gosh, someone that's on the show right now has said this stuff, but actually he was on the previous one. So Pink News said, ex-Big Brother contestant stands by anti-trans comments about current housemate despite backlash. And he quote tweeted them saying, damn right, I stand by my pro-reality comments. So what did he actually say? Here we go. So posting on Instagram recently, King shared Zila's promo with the above quote attached. Over it, King misgendered Zila, writing, she's right, it's not a choice, it's a mental illness. This should not be encouraged. So yeah, that's pretty strong rhetoric from someone who is kind of in the public eye, but probably trying to stay relevant. And yeah, I mean, he then responded to Pink News' request for comment, which is quite funny that he actually did that. I mean, who would give this organization the time of day? But he said, for the record, I fully support the LGBT community. Anyone suggesting otherwise online is talking nonsense. I feel like that's quite a backhanded way for him to remove the T, you know? And I fully stand by it. I believe being transgender is indeed a mental illness. So, I mean, whether you agree with this approach or not, I think we are absolutely seeing an emboldening of opinions, right? I just feel like a lot of this stuff, someone wouldn't have dared say this. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like seeing this is like, oh yeah, someone thinks it's, oh yeah, another person thinks it's a mental illness. Oh yeah, next, you know? I feel like it's becoming more commonplace. He also said, what's deeply troubling is how primetime TV, whether inadvertently or otherwise, are actively encouraging impressionable young minds to question their gender. Turning something so serious into casual entertainment isn't just dangerously irresponsible, it's reckless and potentially harmful. Criticizing that isn't hate, it's calling out a dangerous trend. So I think I really agree with this. I think that's phrase great, but I think the other stuff was just kind of purposely to get attention. What do you guys think? So it is a tricky one, because the fact is we have thousands of people in our society who've done this, taken these drugs, had these surgeries, and it's like, well, we can't just say you're removed from society and you can't partake in things. But then when they do, you have these people outraged saying they're promoting mental illness, they're confusing kids, which is kind of also true. You know what I mean? I find it hard to know how I feel about it. I think having her on would be okay, and maybe if she mentioned it in passing, but just talking about gender euphoria and the surgery and how amazing she felt walking around shirtless. I mean, so many young people watch this shit, right? Let's hear from this guy.
Talking about that on Saturday with the Young Conservatives, I've had death threats for things I've posted online. And in fact, as today, quite relevant, I posted something last night because there is someone that identifies as trans. And
he looks like AI.
Big Brother. Now, I posted on my social media that I said that they'd said that they were living proof that it wasn't a choice to be trans. Now, I disagreed with that. I said, yeah, you're right. It's not a choice. I believe it's a mental illness. It's what I think. And since that, which is quite relevant because that was today, bad people tell me I should kill myself, whatever else. Now, I've got skin like a rhino. You can say anything to me and it just doesn't bother me. And that's the advice I was trying to give, and that's the advice I would give Emily and I think hopefully with Emily, she might be used to, she's got quite a high profile on X. She'll have had a fair share of.
Okay, I'm kind of bored of him now, but props to you for speaking out. So yeah, he also said, why do trans-identified people make being trans-identified their whole personality? Have to agree with that too, right? I mean, can't you just see? It's like a psyop, this show. Everything is like trans. I can't. And of course, I feel like for these kind of things, they often pick trans men because it's easier for them to pass. And then you can have a whole like, oh my God, she's trans? Wow. Oh, I'm so offended. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, it's just, oh, it's so tiresome. But I mean, there was a trans contestant on one of the first few seasons, Nadia, and he's a trans, I'm getting confused myself now. He's a trans woman. And I was too young to really understand that. And I don't really know how it was portrayed in that show, but I would guess it must have been less of a big deal than this, right? And less PC, more able to offend. Okay.
Zila is opening up to Sam.
I had a surgery ages ago and I had to sleep like that.
Wait, what surgery was this?
I had chest surgery.
When did you have the surgery?
2 years ago nearly. But so my girlfriend and I, we were a lesbian relationship for a while.
Yeah.
And
we were a lesbian relationship for a while. You know, it's like me deciding to take anabolic steroids, which is a type of testosterone, right? And then feeling like I'm just a different kind of species and saying, yeah, me and my boyfriend, we used to be a gay couple, but now I don't even know what I call myself. And it's like, babe, you can take the testosterone and you can enlarge the clitoris, but it's still a lesbian relationship because the vagina still exists, right? Maybe I feel like she hasn't had the phalloplasty thing. And again, maybe this is just what Big Brother is pushing out on X, because of course this is going to get all the views, right? People saying, yay, gender euphoria, so happy for you. But it just seems like everything she talks about is just trans and herself. And it is quite narcissistic, right? To be that focused on yourself constantly. You know, it's, if I was her and I wanted to show the world, you know, trans people are real, trans people don't choose to be trans, I would probably mention it and then just talk about everything else except that. You know, if I went on this show, I wouldn't have, every conversation I had wouldn't be about my coming out and life as a gay man and all this stuff, because it just makes people see you more as just this atomized idea instead of a human being. But again, even if these are all the clips from the show, Big Brother could have easily edited any of the normal conversations out. So I want to give her that benefit of the doubt, right?
And like, I think that was her first, that's her first ever relationship.
That is both your first relationships?
But no, I've had quite a few, but I was lesbian for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Been
best
around the
time.
block, huh?
It was great. And yeah, I went from lesbian to man. Like,
yeah.
So great. But no,
Did you always kind of like know that you were a man deep down?
When I was 6 years old, if you look.
No. Oh my God. I'm just at the point now where I'm like, this language needs to die. It just really needs to like go away so we can move on with important shit. I have these moments where I just think about, if someone's new to listening to me or my arguments and they hear the things I say, they probably just find it outrageous. But this is outrageous, guys. You know, did you always know you were a man deep down? It's not physically possible. And we're just normalizing this absolute fantasy and this complete denial of science and reality. You know, why is it not the case that she can be female but likes testosterone and masculinizing her body? You're like, that's fine. I think it is really dangerous to do that to yourself, and the risks are substantial. But in a free country, you know, what do we do with it? But it's just this like, how did you know you were always a man inside? What are you talking about? You sound stupid. You sound so dumb. And I just wonder how many people are watching this thinking, what? So Jay said, I knew Nadia. Let me put this comment on the screen, see if I can do this. I knew Nadia was a biological man, even as a kid. I liked Nadia at the time. I wanted Nadia to win. They say we are all transphobic. I liked Nadia for who he was, not the fact that he had sex change. Yeah. I mean, this was the person that was on the show before, right? Let me see if I can get her up. Him up. I'm not doing too well at the gendering today. Nadia, Big Brother. I'm going to have to switch this. Here we go. All right. Yeah, so this was the person in the early noughties. And I honestly can't remember how much of a big deal they made about this. But apparently he was a cracker of a person. This is him now, okay. Interesting. I just wonder if he's now bought into the whole ideology of it all, you know? Because I feel like even the old school ones who were like, yeah, I'm a man, but here I am, here's my boobs. Now they've converted into this old, oh no. Guys, I'm not really good at this. Let me just bring this. Okay. All right, I think you can probably see it, right? Here he is. Can you see that? No. Right. Okay, I'm sorry. This is like an awkward work call. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, this was him. Right. I mean, I don't know, Jay, if you're still watching, Was it obvious he was a man, or was he passable? And was it a secret? I need to go back and watch clips from this. It is funny, isn't it? And yeah, he won back when no one really cared about this issue, right? Okay, let me get the other back up. Here we go. It was a secret. I'd love to know more. Just please provide me more. The public knew, but the housemates didn't. Yeah. I mean, even back then, what was it? Like 2003 or something? Even back then, they had to make this whole secret out of it. I mean, I just don't think, I feel like that's exploiting the person. It's like that Something About Miriam show, you know? Okay. Wait, she was bullied for being a man in school, even though she hadn't taken testosterone. Right. Oh my God. All the effing buzzwords. Yeah, then I went through my toxic masculinity phase. What are you talking about? You're talking absolute shite, Zila. I'm sorry. But everything you're talking about, I mean, even it's like postmodernism within postmodernism within postmodernism, because even toxic masculinity as a concept is kind of an idea, but these people they speak about all these things as just the facts of life, you know, toxic masculinity, microaggressions. Oh, you can't see it. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm actually doing a really bad job at this today. Okay. I thought I had done it. Here we go. All right, I'm going to play that bit for you again.
To man, like,
Yeah.
oh, great. But no,
Did you always kind of like know that you were a man deep down?
When I was 6 years old, if you looked at me then and look at me now, you'd think I went from A to B. I looked like a little version of me now.
Yeah,
like I had the skin fade and everything. I was still bullied for being a man in school. Like there's always something.
Yeah, you always knew there's something that's like there deep down.
Yeah, and then when I
Makes no
realised
sense.
I was queer around 15, things started to get better because I started to be a bit more masculine.
Yes.
Went through my toxic masculinity phase, got a motorbike and my tattoo.
I love that.
Time went on. I just eventually started to...
I love that. It's like any man who gets a motorbike and tattoos is toxic, right?
Realize, I don't see myself getting old in this body. No matter how masculine I am as a woman, it's never gonna quite be satisfying. Like I just can't. Like I think the biggest thing for me is I just couldn't picture myself getting old. It's scary. It feels like.
I mean, can any of us? I find it really hard to imagine myself like some decrepit. Sorry to any old people watching. I find it really hard to imagine myself as an old man, right? I just feel like I'm going to be cute forever, right?
That progress is just backrolling.
How do you feel like that about like day to day? Does that affect you as like your day to day life and stuff?
Biggest issues with bathrooms were before I transitioned.
Yeah.
And I was a masculine woman. I once got dragged downstairs by two bouncers.
Well, yeah, because if you're a woman going into the men's bathroom, it's most of all a risk on you. Okay, I don't want you getting harmed or raped in a bathroom.
This was in a club, and instead of dragging me down the stairs, I went, "You think you're funny?" And I had to quickly lift up my shirt and be like, show my sports bra, and be like, "I'm a woman."
You shouldn't have to do that.
It's crazy how people are living their lives.
Oh, I see.
Bothered.
Right. Well, that sucks. But this is kind of the gotcha, right, on all these people with the Supreme Court ruling saying that a woman is a woman. Now you have all these trans women, these men saying, oh, lesbians are being persecuted in toilets. And it's like, how often is this actually happening? Because I really don't think it's a huge issue. I mean, the vast majority of women can tell if a masculine woman is a woman That is just a fact. And these bouncers are obviously idiots. Jay, I'm 31. Yeah. I know that I look 21. Just stop, okay? Stop.
There's other people so much.
It's wild, isn't it?
Because trans people, queer people always, I guess, painted in the media as the aggressor.
Yeah.
When the majority are just trying to get by.
Yeah, just trying to pee, girl. Literally.
I mean, if you were, why is just all you talk about your transition? If you're just trying to get by. Yeah. So this one looks a bit cruddy, right? Because I'm pretty sure someone has recorded their TV. Let's see.
Do you know why they're doing so? Have you ever heard the term when, like, we talk about transgender policies and stuff like that? People say that being against transgender women also hurts cisgender women. Yeah. Because what happens is society's idea of femininity, usually white femininity as well, is usually what it's based on. Anyone that doesn't match that, including, for example, masculine lesbians and stuff like that, they then get a lot of hurt towards them.
It's not really, like, just broadly, I just think people should live and let live. But,
no, completely. Yeah. But essentially, it's a good example.
That guy's like, yeah, because she's throwing out all this postmodern bullshit, right? And it just kills me how these people are, it's fine to debate these ideas, and this is all academic critical theory when it comes to these power struggles, power structures in society, femininity, feminism. It's fine to talk about these things and debate them, but we should not just present them to the world as though they are the facts of life. And Adam and Eve got on Earth and were like, oh, feminism and toxic masculinity and society's perception of femininity causes trans misogyny. I mean, it just, and then you have people like this nice guy next to her just kind of wanting to be kind and saying, oh, well, I'm a straight man, so I better sit here and listen, and I better be a good dog, And he's like, yeah, well, I just think everyone should live and let live. Because he's like, what the hell are you talking about? But can't you just see how everything is so inverted? Because she is this like poor minority figure, but she's absolutely ruling the roost. People have to change how they speak around her. People have to be apologetic when they upset her. People have to keep her secrets. And people have to listen to these monologues about all this critical theory bullshit and just go, oh, well, for me to be an ally, this has to be true. It's such a power play. Like, she holds all the power. I feel like a conspiracy theorist, but that is just what I think.
Intersectionality, where if your feminism is anti-trans, it can't really be feminism. 100%.
You get these
trans, you are.
Is that what they call?
100%. But you are, like, I know so many cisgender women, they are just being attacked because they don't look like what we imagine women to look like.
I mean, I just don't believe that. I know so many cisgender women who are being attacked because they don't, like, I mean, if there are lots of just women being attacked and raped, that's enough of an issue. I just don't believe that you have all these masculine female friends that are being accosted in toilets. I just don't buy it. What did she say? She said, oh, well, I need to replay it because it was brilliant. I got distracted.
Is that what they call?
100%. But you are, like,
intersectionality, where what's that?
It's not really, like, just broadly, I just think people should live and let live. But,
no, completely. But essentially, it's a good example of intersectionality where if your feminism is anti-trans, it can't really be feminism.
100%.
Oh, so you're the arbiter of feminism, right? We're on like feminism 10.0 at this point. There is so much feminism. Like we've dished out so much feminism to the West that now men are a part of feminism. It just makes it's such nonsense. And you're very fluent. It's very glib, right? And that's what is pernicious about it, because if you sound this intelligent, you're speaking to this guy. I mean, you can make people believe anything.
Trans, you are higher.
Is that what they
Yes,
call?
completely,
Yeah.
100%. Because you are. Like, I know so many cisgender women. They are just being attacked because they don't look like what we imagine women
Lies.
to look like. That whole concept in itself is so problematic.
Yeah.
But people aren't seeing it. But as soon as I shaved my hair off, I was getting quite a few weird looks, and I started like, I was wearing like a lot more pink. I was doing my nails. I was making sure that I looked more. And it's like, what is that? What is the idea of femininity? I've never been a person. It's never been something that's important to me. But society then forced me, so to speak, into feeling that was important to me, which is crazy.
But yet, if you want to be masculine, you have to do stereotypes and then get everyone to call you a man. So they are just not even aware of how much their arguments contradict each other. I remember watching Big Brother when I was younger, and it was all about like who fucked who in the swimming pool. That was mainly the gist of it. And then playing games and stuff. It wasn't like all this intersectional postmodernism, feminism, trans misogyny bullshit. Okay. Okay, so I think this is one of the juicy clips, and I have purposely not watched this. Right, let's go.
Zila, can I ask a question?
Okay.
If you had a cock, what would you do with it?
Oh, God.
Helicopter.
Would you go like that?
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah, guess.
Next spin.
Nancy! If you could shag anyone in this house. Only. We're on a desert island. There's one person left. You might be able to make babies to get a new civilization.
What the hell?
Who would you shag?
So it has to be a guy. She's pansexual.
Is she pansexual?
I'm pansexual.
You like pans?
Maybe just ask her who she's most attracted
You
to.
like pans?
Of course. Pansexual.
She's a girl. No, you're not.
Oh, she didn't. Caroline. I mean, she went there, right? Isn't it funny just how taboo it even feels, even for me, because of how we've normalized this sensitivity around it? Oh, I can't bear it.
Oh, Caroline!
But you haven't got a willy, have you?
Oh, no, let's stop this game.
Oh, is that really bad?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was like a line.
That's probably a
I'm
lie.
talking about.
No, that's probably. I think.
I'm so sorry, Z.
Look at everyone. They're like cringing out of their ass. They can't bear it. I mean, I feel bad for her because she's being singled out. Not Caroline. Well, actually, I feel bad for Caroline too because she didn't mean it. But she has orchestrated this whole thing around I'm trans, surgery, knew I was a man. And it's like these situations are bound to happen, right? Because you have people just responding to reality and then being absolutely scolded for acknowledging that reality, and then everyone else is just horrified. I love this. Like you'd swear someone just got shot, right?
Is that bad? That was bad.
If we're going to do like heteronormative and.
Oh, no, I'm dead now. Is that bad?
Heteronormative. Bad straight woman.
Bad.
Yeah.
Why?
Because.
It wasn't meant that she had a drink.
No, of course
Should we
it
carry
wasn't.
on?
But
It wasn't meant like
you
that.
didn't mean it about
we know we don't mean it in that way, but Zila's a man, so.
I know you're a man, big man. Oh, God, shut up.
Keep digging that hole, Caroline. Big man. I know you're a man. Big man. Oh my God. I kind of wish I did watch Big Brother now. Oh my God. That was so good. I just need to watch that a little bit again.
We know we don't mean it in that way, but Zila's a man, so.
I know you're a man, big man. Oh, God, shut up, Colin. See, I didn't mean it like that.
I mean a minute.
No, you do think that, don't you?
No, you're good.
Oh, and off she goes. Off and a huff. I have compassion for everyone in this, right? But I just think, like, when you do this to your body and you get everyone to affirm a delusion, these are the kind of scenarios that inevitably are going to occur.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. Oh my God. Oh my...
Before you entered the Big Brother house, the rules regarding unacceptable language and behaviour were explained to you.
I know.
Yesterday at 11:21 p.m. during a game of Spin the Bottle, you had the line. You said to Nancy, if you could shag anyone in the house. No, we're on a desert island. There's one.
Look at her. I mean, she's been conditioned to think that she has committed the most atrocious crime in the world by being the only person in the house to acknowledge that this Zila person is female. I feel so bad for her. Look at her.
One person left. You might be able to make babies to get a new civilization. Who would you shag? Nancy said, so it has to be a guy. Then he said, she's pansexual. Caroline, you said, is she pansexual? Do you like pans?
Damn right she said that, because pansexual is actual nonsense. I mean, she's just a normal woman being thrust into this like woke planet. It's like, wait, hang on, guys. What? What did you say? Pansexual? She's not got a willy? I mean, this is the kind of memory she's going to be trying to fall asleep at night, and she's going to think of this, and it's going to just kill her from the inside out. But maybe she'll come to realize that actually she's been duped by Channel 4. And they call it Big Brother, right? Named after George Orwell's, named from George Orwell's novel 1984, in which you have a surveillance state, and they're definitely living up to that, right?
Zila said, maybe just asked her who she's most attracted to.
Oh, I didn't know that bit.
Nancy then answered Zila. Caroline, you said to Zila, she's a girl. No, you're not. Tasia shouts. Caroline.
This is like, it's like she's being tortured. Why are they putting her through this?
Caroline, you said, but you haven't got a willy. Is that really bad? But I was talking.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I need to get through like 10 seconds. Oh, I mean, I feel so bad for her, but guys, I've never laughed this much doing a video. It's like every repetition of what she said is just this dagger to the heart. Oh God.
Talking about, I'm so sorry, Z. Is that bad? That was bad, wasn't it? Oh no, I'm dead now. Is that bad? Caroline, can you look at Big Brother?
No. I'm ashamed.
This just doesn't feel real. How is this real? But honestly, I'm probably just falling for it, right? Because I feel like Big Brother wanted all of this to happen. Like, they know what they're doing. And everyone on X, all the main accounts that tweet about trans, like, you know, they're all just absolutely outraged, of course. But I feel like that this is what Channel 4 wants. I've laughed so much, my head is like, I have a headache.
Oh, God. It's worse than I thought.
Caroline, Big Brother thinks that your language in these instances was offensive and unacceptable and cannot permit you to use language in a way that could cause offence to your fellow housemates and the viewing public.
Agreed.
As a result...
I mean, how dystopian does all this sound? Big Brother thinks your language is offensive. It's like, well, yeah, I don't agree. I wish he had had the balls to say, okay, but I don't agree with that. Like, what would have happened then? You know, she'd probably be out.
Big Brother is issuing you with a formal warning.
The poor effing woman. Like, look at her. She seems like a sweet, good-hearted person. And she's being absolutely pummeled for this. I feel so bad for her.
Caroline, any repeated use of this type of language or behaviour could lead to your removal from anything you'd like to say.
Sorry. It was just a horrible thing I said. Horrible. Don't know where it came from. I can't.
I mean, clearly she's not someone who's been kind of paying attention to this debate closely, I would assume. Because if she was, she would probably know a lot more of the kind of gender critical feminist argument against this. And look how it's just this woman. It's literally like watching a torture session.
I can't excuse myself. If I had an excuse, I'd say it, but I haven't got one. I'm sorry to everyone out there. And
Yeah, your excuse is that you understand the birds and the bees and Adam and Eve, which everyone does.
sorry to everyone. I can see the disappointment in everyone's eyes, in me. I was having such a lovely time. I mean, more than lovely. And I've just gone and ruined everything. I can't see a way back.
It's like watching a psychological thriller movie, right? Where someone is put into this dystopian matrix. They're just convinced that normal emotions and feelings are evil. It's like, don't acknowledge that you have 5 fingers, right? Because if you do, that's evil. Jesus. Okay, and then here, see that? Oh my God, guys, I can't with this. It's so unbearable. I think here they're going to make up, right?
I forgot how much I actually like.
Should we snug or something? Yeah, let's go.
All I wanted to do was make trouble, not for you, but for Nancy and Cameron. And the whole thing was just so that she'd have to say him.
I love like the porno music in the background. What the hell?
Yeah, fair enough. I think Fairchild and the others kind of noticed the direction it was going in because of the whole reproducing thing. And I think they were trying to like help you in that sense and guide it away.
So, the group had a sense that we were diverting to reality. So I just think we had to guide it back. Don't bring me into the world of reality, please.
What really hit me about what you said was I think it was first the like sectioning me away from the guys with the whole reproductive thing. I was like, oh, that was tough. And then it was like,
it's like, babe, you better accept it. You don't have a dick. You can't have babies that way. And here's this poor normal woman just acknowledging that. And because you have not managed to accept that, and you've got everyone around you to affirm otherwise, it's now her fault. Isn't this just textbook gaslighting behavior? It's like an abusive relationship where you make your partner believe that the sky is green and they're going out of their minds, paranoid as shit, because you have confused them so much. That is exactly what this is.
Like, she's a girl. It really hit her.
Why did it come out of my mouth? And I've got no excuse.
I know that you come from a good place. It was a moment. It hurt, which again also shocks me because I think I haven't been in that kind of scenario for a really long time.
No.
Because I'm lucky enough to pass as a man. But I mean, we are friends.
I hope we are.
Yeah, of course.
I just can't stop thinking of that. I know you're a man, big man. She's brilliant. I hope she wins. Oh, guys.
Pause.
Oh, God, this poor woman. That concludes that section anyway. God knows what else is going to happen. I might have to jump on here and do another one of these. There's bound to be more stuff.
Are you okay?
No.
I'm coming. Just put my head there.
That's That's not going to be good for your back. You're gonna...
I was 23.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I don't know why I had that clip.
When I first started transitioning.
I was going to ask you this, but I was like, I don't
So
want
yeah, I'm only 2 years in, but no more periods.
I mean, is every conversation she has about trans? It's like, oh, we just want to blend into society. Well, it's not really happening.
Oh, piss off. Well, that's why I'm really excited about my surgery, to be fair. Get my womb removed. No more.
Oh my God. Do you feel like, did you want to have kids before then and that affected you, or did you just never care?
I think society tells you the next step is, as a woman, have a child. Procreate, you know? And I don't know if I have...
Or the human race just wouldn't, it would cease to exist if you didn't procreate. Like, is that not more the pressure of having a child is like, we need to do that to continue the human race? I'm a hypocrite here because I'm gay and I probably won't ever have biological kids, right? But I feel like it's more that than just society saying, you know, have babies, right? Maybe it's a bit of both. But she said that she's going to have her womb removed. Now, I feel like she's a better candidate for that because when you take testosterone, it's really dangerous and you can have it can like explode or something. I can't remember. Buck Angel talks about it. But I mean, having your womb removed, that's a lot.
You know, wanting to have a child because societal norms, or if I truly wanted to actually hold a child within my body, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I want to give a child a home. I just don't think I've ever really, truly wanted to do it in that way. And so I've come to terms with it. But it is like, you, like, as a woman, in general, losing that piece of you feels really weird. For me, it was just, it's just not something that's helping me. Like,
maybe don't. I mean, I may not know there's more context to this about a medical issue that means she has to get her womb removed, but the whole conversation sounds like, I don't want to have kids, so I'm going to get my womb removed. But we do have birth control and condoms and the pill. I know that, you know, it just seems like such an extreme thing because then you go into early menopause, don't you? Like, it's a really traumatic thing to do to your body. And I just wonder, I mean, I speak to women who say like, oh, I didn't really want kids until I hit 27, 28, and then I started getting broody. And that seems quite natural. But then there are so many women now who still get to an age and they just have zero desire whatsoever. But I just wonder how much of that is societal pressure, that you have to be a girl boss and, you know, break the heteronormative ceiling, and women are not just here to have babies, which they're not. They're here to do many, many more things and whatever they want. But I don't know, it's just kind of sad. I mean, why? It's an extreme measure.
You're not conducive to my life. You know?
2023 end, 2023 December end, my dad was like, all of a sudden he was calling me, Kenny, how long you're not going to be married? Come on, please marry. Why are you doing this? Please do this one for me. And I was like, if my mom was like telling all this year, I said, no, I don't want to get married, blah, 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 and this thing. And then my dad said, dad asked me, and I couldn't say no. And that's how I got married on 2024 January with my cousin.
What? So are you still married?
Huh?
Are you still...
I am still married, yeah. I have a baby boy, 10 months baby boy.
I'm quite good friends with Nigel.
My God. Why? They're getting everything in, guys. They're packing it all in. I don't know if you saw this last week, but our National Health Service came out with this guidance promoting cousin marriage and saying, you know, while it does carry additional risks, it is good for strengthening family ties and family bonds. And having a child with your first cousin doubles the risk of birth defects. And that's just with your first cousin, let alone generations of inbreeding, right? Like your parents were cousins, your grandparents were cousins. And it is known to affect IQ as well as recessive diseases and genetic disorders. And the NHS, our national health provider, came out promoting it. And they had to take it down because even someone in the Labour Party, the woke Labour Party, the health secretary, Wes Streeting, condemned it because it's utter nonsense. They're just trying to normalize this cultural relativism. Cousin marriage is a big thing in the Pakistani community in the UK. you know, a town like Bradford, I think the stats are like upwards of 50% of all Pakistanis in Bradford are married to their first cousins. I mean, no, we don't need that shit in this country. We don't have to accept every barbaric practice just because it comes from brown people or whatever. I'm sorry. That is how I feel. It's incest. And people say, oh, but the royal family used to get married to their cousins. It's like, well, there's a reason why that happened over 100 years ago. Because we realize as a society, that's gross, that's sick, let's stop. But then people say, oh, let's just import all these people who do it and then just gaslight the public into thinking it's a good thing. So this guy was pressured into marrying his cousin and now he has a child with her. And I just don't get, like, what are we supposed to feel from this? Are we supposed to go, oh, that's unusual, I guess marrying your cousins is normal? Or is it supposed to be like, he was forced into a marriage? And in terms of people that argue for cousin marriage, it's not a good look because the representative you have here was forced to do it. Imagine being forced to marry your first cousin and then having to, like, F them. That is just, I know that I'm straight. I'm straight. I know that I'm gay. I'm fucking losing it tonight, guys. I know that I'm gay. So the idea of marrying my first cousin who's a woman is even more disgusting. But my male first cousins, it's equally as disgusting. Give me strength.
Farage.
Really?
Oh,
Well, he's a lovely bloke.
Does she know him?
I just like him.
You know Nigel Farage in real life?
Yeah.
You actually do? Like, he's your friend? Like, you know
Well,
him?
I went to a funeral with him the other day and sat in his car.
And you actually like Nigel Farage?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
So you can see she's kind of the, you know, the working class normal woman who they're going to demonize on the show for having kind of just normal views of just an average English person. And one of those was that she just doesn't get the whole authoritarian woke dictatorship that's going on, and she's going to slip up and then be absolutely blasted for it. And here she's talking about Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK. I'm assuming you guys know who he is. Think of him kind of like our Trump of the UK in simple terms.
Yeah.
As a person, yes.
But as, like, okay.
I'm not
Why
talking
do you
about
not?
politics.
He is a proper character, yeah, but what about his politics? What do you think, like...
What
Well, he
about his
wants to
politics?
make England good again.
Do you not
Here we
think
go.
that the way he speaks and some of the actions that are followed are a bit divisive?
What about Starmer?
Yeah, I don't like Keir Starmer
Hold
either.
on, like what?
Like, so for example, putting up the flags as patriotism. I'm all for patriotism.
Yeah.
I love England, like,
Yeah.
British. But it's not like people, because they're like, let's fly the flags now because all these illegal immigrants are coming in, right?
Yeah.
You guys haven't been
She's like, get me out of this political conversation right now.
patriotic from the start because you weren't doing this ages ago is a response to these people that are coming over, right? And it's like, I'm going to sit down and talk to you. Let me breathe.
Like,
There's all these
you think
things.
it's
There's all these
divisive?
hateful. It is divisive. All these hateful things that are happening as a result of his speech and the things that he's saying. Do you not think?
Not him.
You don't think that the
I think it's more anti what is going on and what is being said and how the British people are being treated. And if anything, the Union Jack should unite us.
Yeah, 100%. But
How is
I
it divisive?
don't think that's what it's being used for, though. I think there are people that are painting the roundabouts and are flying the flag. I don't think it's to put us together. I think it's to divide us more.
Divide who from who?
White British people and whoever else. That's what it feels like.
It's nothing to do with white British. It's
that's
just
what I
about
see-
let's unite under one flag.
But is a reaction
Because right now we
to-
are so divided. People coming into the country illegally, we haven't.
Yeah, the flag debate's an interesting one, right? Because I just feel like both sides are not being honest. I think one side wants to say everyone doing that is a racist, and they know that that's not true. And then the other side is saying, what's wrong with hanging up a flag? It's just our flag. But they know that they're doing it to make a point. And I have to say, I kind of agree with that point in terms of the white working class being just ignored for decades and every concern they have saying, I feel like my community is becoming Islamic. Like, can we not have that? And then everyone's racist. Like, oh, there's all these cousins that are getting married and having these babies with birth defects around me. Sorry, that is too much. That's an exaggeration, right? But some people will think this. They're like, why are there all these like cousins effing each other suddenly? And why is everything becoming so Islamic? And then everyone's calling them a racist and saying your concerns aren't valid. So they're putting up the flags by saying, you're not going to ignore us any longer and you're not going to shame us for being English. And we're sick of this lambasting of our history. So what they're doing is divisive because they know there's going to be loads of people clutching their pearls, outraged by these flags. So I think they should just kind of own that and say, we're making a statement. We're not going to be quiet about this anymore. But I just feel like both sides aren't being, fully honest.
To put up, they're getting hotels, they're getting dental appointments like that, doctor's appointments, getting free driving lessons.
Do you actually think that they're getting free drive? Because I think it's being exaggerated. Because it's like people are saying they're in 5-star hotels, they're getting iPads, and it's like,
it's true.
What, you think that's true? I feel like it's been exaggerated to make us outraged and to divide us more.
Why are they here in the first place? They're illegal.
But I don't think anyone's illegal. I was just born here, and I'm lucky enough to be born here, and that's it.
Open borders, gal. I mean, I have to say that I'm pleased to see these two engaging in a conversation, and it's not. I mean, she's passionate, but I don't feel like she's just calling him evil, and she seems to want to talk to him about it. So I think that's a positive thing. And it is definitely true that we have had some 5-star hotels, we've had driving lessons reported, we've had iPads, but it's very hard to know from someone who follows this. Is this just a few hotels that councils discovered they had iPads? Because it's definitely true, but I don't know for all the hundreds of hotels we have housing illegal immigrants. I don't think all of them are getting iPads or all of them are getting driving lessons. But these are the things that some of the councils that reform has taken over have come out with and said, we've analyzed the expenses and illegal migrants are being brought to the circus, was one of them, given PlayStations, yoga. Like, it is happening. It may not be every hotel, but the hotels themselves are enough, right? It shouldn't be happening.
So what? We should just let in any Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I just think if you are fleeing from something, I think you should be
fleeing from what? France?
Who's in France?
They're coming from France to here, and they would have gone through Italy and then Morocco.
But it's not
safe countries.
Are France not? Are they not taking them in? That's what I'm saying. Is that why they're coming to England?
See, it's interesting how she doesn't even really know the facts she doesn't even really understand they're coming from France. And this just goes to show the echo chambers people sit in that they only see the Instagram posts with the pro-open borders rhetoric. And they don't even know some of the basic facts about it, that they're coming from France. They've traveled all the way across Europe. They've somehow, as someone fleeing persecution, they have thousands of pounds to pay a smuggler. Like if there are, if we're going to have open borders, these are the very men that we do not want here. We should pick other people. But, no one's illegal. So it's, okay, so do you just think we have an unlimited capacity to just take more people in? And it's like, well, we don't have the infrastructure or resources. Well, tax the rich, right? That's the answer.
We're going to France, but we're soft touch, and they know they're going to get
a lot of people
everything
say
they want here because we're weak. I think at the end of the day, foreigners are being put before the British person.
But a lot of people are.
We're having to fork out for it.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to villainize or anyone that's got less than me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but they're not being villainized. It's just we need to protect our own.
When they're saying illegal aliens, and it's very dehumanizing language, and I don't agree with that. And it's
but I don't stick some.
It's just another I don't like reality. If you break into a country illegally, that's what you're doing. It's a fact. And here's another guy who might be kind of working class, having these opinions, and she's just obviously from an area or a social circle that just has not considered the other side of the coin, right? Because she says, I'm not going to villainize people that have less than me. But this whole debate and the whole wider political discourse is about villainizing the white working class community in Britain and saying, none of your concerns are valid, shut up, go to work and earn the exact same amount of money as someone on benefits doing nothing. And if you complain about your community, that's pretty much all you have. Becoming Islamified, then you're racist, and shut up, basically.
Stones may break my bones, words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
Who cares about language?
A lot of the language that I'm seeing used online and the treatment of people, even just people that aren't immigrants, even it could be me walking down the street and someone could think because of the colour of my skin that I'm an immigrant and use certain language.
Which is exactly why you should be against illegal immigration. Because the more that we tell people they're racist, shut up, you know, oh, a girl was raped in your town by one of the men from the hotels, which has happened. You're racist, shut up. Inevitably, we're going to get to a stage where people like her, of which she has every right to be here, she's like a British-born girl and seems to be very culturally English. People will become more divided that way. So she should want this problem solved, right?
Towards me, and I think it's because of the things that we're seeing, and they're trying to piss us off, and they're trying to put us. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah,
it's simple to see. That's what I think.
If they did something about it, whilst the British people are suffering with cost of living crisis, everything else, you know, we wouldn't be pissed off.
But we shouldn't be pissed at these people.
So what? Should we just
continue?
continue letting them in?
No, but we should be outraged at the politicians and go against them, not the people on left.
Yeah.
We can
but
agree on
shut
that.
the border as well, and then
I mean, that's true. Like, why would all of these men not do what they're doing? The reality is that we are very lucky to live here. And I know that. I know that we have this privilege, right? And the reality is that there are many shitholes in the world. There are many shithole countries with millions of people in them. And these people are utopian thinkers. And they're like, oh, well, we just need to let all of Africa move to the UK. And it's like, babe, no, that just won't work. I know that it's a nice idea. I wish that we could take in just all of Northern Africa and just make them English. And that sounds like a colonial white supremacist comment. I mean, like, indoctrinate them into Western liberal values and make them love gay people and make them respect women, and they'll all be doctors and nurses and scientists. But it's just not possible. You know, this island of a country cannot solve the whole world's problems. You know, it's like, one day I'm going to solve world peace. It's, you know, it's a nice thought, but I just feel like I'm a pragmatist in this situation, and it's tragic how some people are born. But how can we shoulder that whole burden, right?
Good chat.
Yeah, good chat, but we have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah, to be continued tomorrow.
I mean, I'm pretty pleased with that conversation, right? Because they talked it out. She didn't call him a right-wing Nazi bigot evil, and it ended amicably. So I think that's quite a good thing, to be honest. And I think maybe she learned a bit from him, and I don't know if he learned much from her. So this is a woman who was on the Traders UK, and I just came across her TikTok. So I thought I'd show you what she said.
Caroline, girl, you've actually broke my heart. I'm so upset. She's mates with Nigel Farage, which just tells you the kind of person she is. And when she came into the house, I thought, this woman is going to be an absolute G. She came in like early noughties R&B music videos. The white hat, the white fur coat, and the white suit with the sunglasses. I thought, she's a vibe. And now, unfortunately, she's declared as not a vibe, in my opinion. I don't know. In my opinion, she's not a vibe.
Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? Just because this woman says she knows Nigel Farage, and this middle-class black woman who was great on the Traders, by the way, loved her, but she just doesn't get, like, you're demonizing this woman who comes from a different circumstance from you and just has like a normal opinion. And it's like, oh, I loved everything about her. But then I heard she likes Nigel Farage, and that tells you exactly the kind of person she is. I mean, you're being judgmental, you're stereotyping, and you're being intolerant. Maybe you'll realize that one day. And then here's someone popping off about George telling lies, spreading fake, harmful facts about asylum seekers and their free iPhones and iPads. Now, let's put iPads to a side. They 100% get phones. 100%. They have to be given phones because they need a way of navigating Google Maps, you know, calling the doctor, all this stuff. Like, they absolutely get phones. That's not a lie. And if you just looked into it, then you'd find out, right? All right, let's see what's next.
And some of his morals I don't believe are right. Every place in the world has been built on immigration.
Thank you.
Every place in the world.
And colonization.
I mean, just that fact alone, every place in the world has been built on immigration. That just makes no sense. It's like, how would a place even have anything to build on if there weren't people there already? So it's, you know, it's just impossible to build anything without shipping over thousands and millions of people. And we've imported these ideas from America because America is a nation of immigrants, and, you know, everyone that's moved there is like white Europeans, you know, African Americans, etc. But the UK, more people have migrated to the UK. Let me get this right. Between 1997 and now, then migrated to the UK between 1066 and 1997. And if you go back to, you know, 1910 or whatever, Britain was like above 95% white English, white British. And they built some shit, right? And it's annoying because, of course, there have been immigrants who have come to this country and built things and helped and done great things or whatever. But I hate the way they just disregard all the native English people too. And you're talking also about the millions or hundreds of thousands of English men who lost their lives fighting for our freedom. It's like, do they not get any gratitude whatsoever? I don't know. It just annoys me how it's spun like that, because, you know, the facts of it are that England was not built on migration. Like, it has had mass migration in recent years. And I was watching this podcast once, I forget where it was, but they were talking about the Windrush generation. You know, people came over from the Caribbean, was it? And how people make this huge thing about the Windrush generation and, you know, they built the UK or whatever. But and they say, you know, these people came over, they became nurses, they became teachers. And the person on the podcast said, okay, so they got jobs. Like, isn't that just what you'd expect them to do? And it's so true. I mean, it's great that they were able to come here, but it's like, do they need that much gratitude just for being a teacher? I don't know.
England, we was one of the biggest immigrants. We invaded everywhere. If you're invaded, you're an immigrant.
If your value and belief system are pure and like morally sound, you can get through a lot. Also, left.
Yeah. I don't care where you come from, what you do, who you are. Don't give a shit. If you're a dick, you're a dick. If you're not a dick, you're not a dick.
That's what it's about.
Because everyone is just the same. And there's no such thing as countries where women get raped more. I mean, the same people would never just go on holiday to Uganda or whatever, or Guinea or Congo and just like walk the streets at night in short shorts, right? But then as soon as one of those men enters our country illegally, they just lose, they shed all that rape mentality. It's just gone. Because they realize, oh my God, liberal values. I love gay people. I respect women. And it's actually just arrogance. Like, we're so arrogant in the West that we think our culture is so superior and enlightened that everyone that comes into contact with it just by osmosis is going to adopt the whole thing. And that's just not reality. Here's this guy, Nathan, who said the trans comments on X, and he's popping off. Britain was not built on immigration. It was built by generations of hardworking British men and women with a small contribution by those who came to join them. And, you know, you can see that as divisive and anti-immigrant, but according to statistics, it is also just true. And I'm an immigrant to the UK. You know, I don't claim to have built this country, right? Oh dear. Okay, what's this?
Attract better candidates.
Mm-mm.
Do you think MPs should be paid more so we can attract better candidates?
MPs are paid 90 grand a year.
True, but some of the finest minds in economics in this country, they're all entrepreneurs because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to go into politics where everyone hates you, it's dangerous, and all the rest of it, when you can carry on making more money doing what you do.
So where I come from, people think of politicians as like people who sit on pedestals. 90k a year to them is an absurd number.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you have people like Farage who just spend no time in Clacton anyway.
He's a party leader, so it's harder for someone like him to dedicate to the local matters. Farage will be Prime Minister.
Do you want Farage to be Prime Minister?
I'd rather him than Starmer.
Really?
Open border policies, forget about the common man at the bottom.
They've really got the right-wingers on Big Brother this year, haven't they? I mean, I'm in two minds about this, because it's like, have they just accidentally become right-wing, Big Brother? Are they kind of preparing themselves for the fact that the culture is changing and this is the direction we're going in, and they want to stay relevant so that at least when it kind of changes more, it's sort of normalized a bit more that they have this stuff in? Or am I such a conspiracy theorist that actually there are people pulling the strings in the background, and this is a way to actually push people more towards reform in Nigel Farage? I feel like the media has become a lot more friendly with him and the idea of it lately. And I just can't see them having done this even a year ago.
We're disregarded.
But do you think Farage is good for the common man? Because he's a millionaire. He knows nothing about what it's like to struggle with bills. He's terrible for the working person. I think that he triggers divisiveness. I think his whole thing.
Biased.
Farage's politics are all about spreading divisiveness. They do a lot on, for example, asylum seekers take this much out of the community. They do all this.
I mean, your life mantra is just deny reality and then force everyone around me to conform. And if they don't, make them feel like a terrible person. So that's pretty divisive to me, Miss Zila.
We're putting these people up that aren't British nationals. Well, they're getting bed and board. I've heard they're getting driving lessons.
This is now what you said earlier about biases. That's completely incorrect. Asylum seekers get £49 a week and they're not allowed to work in the
More than I get from the government.
If their accommodation includes food, then they get £9.95 a week.
Why should I and you and everyone in this country pay for these people when they haven't paid a penny into the system?
These people are fleeing war.
No, they're not. They're fleeing France.
I was so confused there because I could hear these noises, and I was looking behind me, even though I'm at home alone. But then I realized this is someone recording their TV, and you can literally hear someone else in the background rustling some wrappers or whatever. They're kind of having the same conversation as before. But Californication says, is it even right-wing to not want to be conquered by Islam, lol? Apparently, even though it's left-wing to hate Christianity, which is interesting because that religion is causing a lot less problems.
The filter this, and I go, they're not there for a reason.
100%.
They didn't get born and go, oh, I'm going to go and sit on the street and take
and it
loads
can
of
happen to
shit
any one of
drugs.
us.
Yeah.
People say you never know.
You've
You're
got
like, what,
no
4
idea.
paychecks away
I
from
know.
being there.
You're not going to like me for saying this, but you are in charge of your own actions. They know drugs are bad, so stop deflecting responsibility.
No, if they were like 12.
This is such a like right versus left coded argument. One is for the personal responsibility, and the other one is to see criminals as victims of society. So I think they're talking about homeless people and drug addicts, right? And this is a very complex issue, so I don't really want to get into all of it. I can kind of understand both sides a little bit, but I don't agree with this rhetoric that people say, oh, well, it could happen to anyone. Any one of us could become homeless. Like, I just don't think that's true, because she said, you know, you're only 4 paychecks away. Well, there are many, many people, I would argue, maybe even a majority, that if they somehow lost their job and had no money at all for 4 months, didn't get 4 paychecks, like they'd probably have a friend that they could crash on their couch or stay with a family member. And most people are pretty resourceful, right? They'll find a way to survive. And I understand tragic things happen and crazy things happen to just a completely normal person. Maybe they're in an accident and then they get hooked on opioids and then they become homeless. Like, I understand that can happen, but I feel like the vast majority of people who end up actually on the streets come from very difficult backgrounds, mental health issues, abuse, behavioral, like personality disorders, and addiction. And I don't think that just all of us are 4 paychecks away from that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
13 and they've got kicked out of their house.
Yeah.
And they're around people and they've got no hope, nothing.
Well, contact that Frank organisation. They can give you guidance. And...
You're privileged, right?
No.
I am. I'm privileged. I've got a mum and dad.
To a degree by living in this country.
Yeah, but
so
I haven't been abused.
Yes,
I haven't had to run away from home. I haven't been.
I love how she's pulling the privilege card now. She's totally bought into this white guilt idea. They've beaten her down so much. But I mean, he's quite based, isn't he? I mean, a lot of the stuff he has said is just quite normal, but people see it as just like,
been so scared about living on the streets.
I know.
What do you think about ex-army veterans that have got crippling PTSD? And
I accept it's very hard, and I've not experienced anything as difficult as that. But we can't just blame circumstances all the time.
I know, but people do have
organisations and people who have been in your situation, and I want to encourage people out there who may be watching this to not just turn to drugs. Oh yeah, they had to take drugs.
No, encouraging
people
you're not
to try and feel better.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough conversation because 2 things can be true at once, right? Because you have lots of people who do have PTSD and they don't resort to that, and then they end up being a business owner. And then you have lots of people that have it, and then they go down that path, right? So I think you can feel sorry for people's circumstances and understand we're all a product of our experience. And at the same time, try and motivate society to believe that your fate is in your hands. And I think this is the problem with this argument, is because the more you lean into just the left-wing cause, the more you make people think that they're just a victim of everything that's happened to them and they have no agency. And then the more you lean into the right-wing side, it's like, oh, well, they all just made that choice and they have to deal with it. But there's a middle ground, right?
The point here is that people turn to things like that here for a bit of free their mind. All they can think about is them being ripped or them having a bad childhood, being locked in cupboards or blah, 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 bad childhood. That's all they can't stop.
Being locked in cupboards. Yeah, but the point is there are so many people who have had these things happen to them who then don't end up living on the streets. And why is that? Like, I have so much compassion for this issue. And I understand what it feels like to be like at rock bottom. But I think you can do both. I think you can acknowledge that someone turned to drugs and they didn't necessarily mean, they didn't foresee themselves getting addicted and being on the streets, and help them. But you can also make sure people believe that actually they can choose to do other things, or they can overcome their struggles, right?
I'm thinking about it, so they take these drugs and it makes them feel happy.
Mind.
It's a happy buzz.
I read, Tyson
Happy
Fury
buzz.
had terrible mental health.
Yeah.
He's famous, one of the most famous examples. I read his book. He said there's 4 pillars that we all need.
I appreciate this. I feel like I'm moderate, but because of the abuse I get, I'm often like, am I like super right wing now? But I just say what I think. And I don't like saying I just believe in common sense because I find that quite egotistical. Like, oh, my views are just common sense. But I don't think I'm, you know, ultra conservative or anything. I mean, you look at my lifestyle and it's just not.
That's a beautiful
in order
story,
to
but
have a
don't
healthy,
say...
in order to have a healthy
Don't
mind, as
me
diet,
ever
or
again.
you're interrupting, love.
Oh,
Good diet.
No, love. That's not.
Love, that's a respectful term. Can I just finish my sentence, guys? Can I not finish my...
Yeah, you see, I can understand the perspective of both sides. And I think both viewpoints are fine and it's a good debate, but I don't like how now they're all just so intolerant to his point of view and they just can't deal with it. It's like, well, you know, maybe we should listen to what this guy has to say and maybe we should just say, oh, well, I disagree with that because I can see truth in both.
Respectfully, because
What do I say then?
If you were having this debate with Tate, you wouldn't have called
I'd
him
say
love.
son.
Yeah, it's just don't love, sweetheart and stuff in arguments. Just like, you know, keep it respectful.
Yes, you are.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, it was a term of endearment. Grow up.
You're doing well, babes.
I do get what he's saying.
It's just
Well,
not
it's
easy
not
for
for
everybody.
everybody. It's not that easy. It's not that black and white for everybody.
Otherwise it won't be happening. No, you did well.
I mean, you could have just said that to him. There's merit in both.
You did well.
Prac.
The whole George situation.
Oh, you did so well dealing with that. It's like, no, guys, he did well by having to be, trust me, a lot of you may agree, but I've been in many situations where I'm trying to just say what I believe, whether it's about trans, whatever, and you are faced with a gang of people who are getting so hot and bothered, triggered, like so intolerant. And it is super intimidating, even if you feel strong about your, confident in your views. Like, it is not pleasant to be ganged up on people and then to be told that you're evil, told that you're hateful, when you should just be able to have a conversation. And it's just all inverted, right?
Basically, I think it all just came to a bit of a head about like the kind of impression that he did of me or whatever. It was like, it was him doing it, mocking me as if I have some kind of like disability or something, which is just like rude anyway. And then all the boys kind of laughing. It just kind of felt like I was back in school, I think. And it just kind of brought all that back in that moment. I think it's just that feeling of like, when you're a little bit different and people think it's okay to like take the piss out of you and point fingers and stuff, and everyone thinks it's okay to join and laugh at it, it just makes you feel really singled out and like a bit isolated. And I know I've got friends in here, but I'm still that person that like went through all that stuff, you know? It's just so annoying because like I've really overcome a lot to become who I am, and I don't want this comments like this to seep in and have an effect on me like that again. So I do think it's important I talk to George and just try to explain that.
Big brother.
I mean, the tears seem pretty fake, right? People just have such a thin skin nowadays. Like, I believe this story was they were playing Spin the Bottle and they had to do impersonations of each other, and then George impersonated him being really camp, which he is. And we should just be able to take the piss out of each other, but then he has to make it all about like this homophobia. Oh, I've worked so hard to accept who I am. And it's like, clearly you've not, if it's that fragile that someone just does an impersonation of you. And just own it. Just be like, yeah, I'm a super feminine guy and he was just taking the piss. Like, fair enough. If you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, then it's harassment. But you would have no problem taking the piss out of a straight white cis man, right?
Has called George to the diary room.
Hello, brother. George, before you entered the Big Brother house, the rules regarding unacceptable language and behaviour were explained to you. Big Brother needs to talk to you about a conversation at the dining table last night. Okay. At 11:26, during a game of Truth or Dare, when asked about your least favourite qualities of other housemates, you said the following. Sam, to You then went on to mimic Sam using both noises that mocked the way Sam talks and body language that included limp wrists. Do you understand how both your language and behavior could be offensive to Sam?
I mean, that is kind of mean, I have to say. If someone said, what do you least like about someone? And then you went straight to basically them kind of being gay or being camp. Like, I do think it's a bit mean, but I don't know if it's worth this much drama.
Your housemates and the viewing public.
We did have a conversation about this. Sam pulled me to one side. I have apologised. I don't want to make anyone feel like that. So I will be walking on eggshells around Sam from here on in.
George, Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, that's where Sam wants you, George, because the queer community is a effing power play. They want people scared about what they're going to say. They want people to sit there like a little good dog and listen to their preaching about postmodernist feminism. And if you do make a mistake, they want to make the whole world stop and make you feel really shit about yourself.
Thinks that your language and behavior was unacceptable and could cause offense and is therefore issuing you with a warning.
My first nomination.
I mean, who likes watching this? It's so tedious. So this guy was actually thrown out. So Big Brother housemate George removed from house due to unacceptable language and behavior. So I guess we could have seen that coming. Said ITV George will from ITV George will appear in tonight's episode of Big Brother, but his comments will not be aired as they are contrary to broadcast standards. He was previously given several warnings for unacceptable language. Most were not broadcast as the language used was contrary to broadcast standards. So who knows what else he said, because we're not going to find out. Listen to this. The rules regarding language and behavior are explained to all housemates, and they receive training in respect, dignity, and inclusion. Of course they do. Got to get the DEI in there. So I would be skeptical if he said anything too controversial. And like I said, I think the decision to mock him like that was probably mean. I wouldn't do that. But everything else he said was just like a normal political viewpoint, which you're free to disagree with, right? But there was just one last thing here I wanted to show you, which was, this was Big Brother 18 years ago. Oh, let me pause it. This was Big Brother 18 years ago, and this girl got kicked out almost immediately because she called this woman the N-word. She was only 19. I remember watching this, and it was really weird because she seemed like quite a sweet person otherwise. And then she said she was so sorry, that it was a joke. And I remember this woman saying she didn't even really care. But I feel like back then, we had a consensus as society that speech does have limits of taste when it comes to the media. And hearing someone call a Black person the N-word is something that we do not want to tolerate. And I still think that's fair. And I think they probably made the right decision. I mean, it just goes to show how far it's shifted, right? Because to me, that seems like a crime against humanity, you know, because of how sensitive we've become. And honestly, if she did this now, she'd probably be in prison, you know? The non-crime hate incident people would be knocking on her door. Keir Starmer would have her in there. So I honestly think like that was really bad. And it's a horrible thing to say to a Black person, to call them that, unless you're like really good friends with someone and like you already know you call each other that or whatever. I would never ever say it, even as a joke. But you know, that's how far you had to go in the past to get kicked off Big Brother. And now it's like, oh, you acknowledge someone as a girl. Oh, you made an impersonation of someone being a bit camp. Oh, you talked about illegal immigration. You know, it's tedious, guys. Well, we have been reacting for an hour and 50 minutes. Really appreciate all the comments, super engaged. I've been kind of reading them as I went through. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And apologies again about my technical difficulties. It's going to be interesting seeing that back. And yeah, let me know what you think of the lives. I'd like to do them more. I need to get better at them, but it is fun. And that's all for tonight, everyone. I hope from wherever you're watching, you enjoyed. Who knows, we might talk about Big Brother again if there are more and more funny clips. And if you have not already, please like the video. And if you happen to not be a subscriber, but you've stuck with me this long, then why not subscribe? It's free. I'd really appreciate it. Almost at 19K, which is great. And I will see you all soon for another video. Bye.